All right, some more Transformers toys to check out here. We're going to be getting back to our ThreeZero special Vintage Animation Edition figures, and this is going to be the leader of the Autobots now. We're going to be checking out Optimus Prime. Last time we checked out Megatron. Feel free to go check out that video to see how that guy stacks up. Now we're going to be checking out this great addition to the line. This is again from the MDLX line, which I call the Mini DLX line from the ThreeZero products. We previously checked out a full DLX if you want to see what the difference is in those, other than the size. Ton of features, lighting, they have like a built-in LED lights and just a tremendous amount of detail. We did a video on the Last Night Optimus Prime. You can check that out in our videos list if you want to see just the massive difference between the two. But again, we have this fantastic animation style packaging, or I'm sorry, the original G1 style packaging and inspiration here. It's not going to be one for one. It's not going to have the same power levels and all the same artwork, but it has that grid line. It has the color scheme. Autobots were more red than the purple ones for the Decepticons, and it's going to have some shots of the figure. Now, this is going to be the MDLX Optimus one for one. This is just a different paint scheme. That's really the only difference here. He's going to be the same as the other version. The box is different. The coloring is different, but it's the standard Optimus. So if you already have that one, it's not going to be anything different from that. We checked that out with the Megatron we showed you last week. So now we have the Optimus here, and then the only other one is the Bumblebee, and we'll be getting to that as well. So why don't I bring you guys in closer, and we'll check out this awesome figure. All right, we got our Optimus here. Again, you can see that great box with the grid lines all the way around, and it doesn't have the power levels or any of the other characters in the back, but it does have that inspired G1 look to it. Shouldn't be anything in the box. Last time we did see instructions though. Here we go, we found some our instructions in our warranty pack, and then we're going to have two separate inserts here. So the first one, you can see that classic rifle he has there. There's an assortment of hands. There's his Energon axe, which it's disappointing that he comes with the axe, but Megatron didn't come with the energy mace. And then he has this little, looks like a little backpack attachment here for him as well. And then that matrix of leadership. And then on this side, we'll take off the top layer so you can get a better look at him. You can see the instructions flopped out there. And we have our Optimus with more hands in here. He's got a lot of hands on this one as well. So, and then you have the character here. So we'll just pop him out really quick. And we can see our Optimus. He's going to have additional little wrapping here on the legs, pretty much just to keep him from scuffing up. So we'll try to get those off. But you can see the nice look on this guy already. Oh man, these are like these are wrapped around completely. There's no way to get these off without cutting them, I don't think. So we'll just do that essentially. You can use a X-Acto knife, but typically these are on a lot of ThreeZero characters to keep the paint from scuffing while they're shipping. And you usually have to remove a body part. Like you could remove these legs at the joint, but I am not going to do that. That is going to be just too much for me to want to deal with on this figure. Because it could be awkward trying to pop them back in. But that was it. There we go. We got him out of there, and he is now free. So you can see on the paint scheme here, he has this like little cel-shaded window tint on there to make him look like the cartoon version of the character. You can see his smokestacks here on the arm. You can see his legs here. Now he doesn't transform, but he does have the parts hanging off to make it look like he can. Like there's flaps here that move. There are different little gyros and servos all around him that will move on the hip, on the arm, on the legs, and he's got that great articulation in the arms, on the legs. Like you can get really deep poses with these guys. I don't like playing around with them too much, but we did show you on like a lot of the what do they call it, the Marvel figures, like particularly Iron Man. You get those superhero poses because the components move out of your way to give you a little bit more room, like here with the legs. So the legs will move up and down, left and right, and you have a lot of range of motion if you adjust them all on there. So you get a really great full range of motion on there. And then the head too. Now there's no alternative heads. You don't need to do that. Now with the chest here, I think it opens up to show you where you can put the matrix of the leadership. I'm not 100% certain. Oh, there we go. So you could pop this off. The doors don't open up like they do on the other figures. And you can see here it has a magnetic component to it to get the chest to stay on, which is really cool. So you have the contact magnets there. So you could have him hold that matrix of leadership. We'll try to pop this out here. Oop, there we go. And he could hold that matrix of leadership, but I don't think it actually... Oh, look at that. You can go in there. I didn't think it was supposed to fit in from what I had seen before. Let's see if we get it to sit in there nicely. So yeah, you can, I guess you could set that matrix of leadership in there, and we'll see if this goes on top. Yeah, I guess you can. Look at that. You can store it inside of him, and then you could actually take it out. That's a really nice feature. So you could give him the open hands, and he could hold that matrix of leadership like he's presenting it there. So it's a fun little display feature. It is in the instructions, attaching the matrix of leadership. Wow, I missed that one. That's great. So he has that matrix of leadership. He has the ion blaster. He has the energon axe. We'll try all those out. The only thing it's not talking about is this extra part here that's kind of like a backpack or a jetpack. So you can see it fits in right there. So we're just going to pop that in just to give them that extra look. And I'm not sure why they didn't just include it on there. If it's not meant to be an additional attachment, it's meant to just be part of the base figure. So I don't know. I guess it's just a extra little design thing you could add there. Whoop, that fell out. Yeah, so we got that in there now, and now you just have this extra little part. So we'll put this matrix back in. We'll close up the chest, so that way it doesn't keep popping out on us. There we go. And now we have our completed Optimus, our Optimum Optimus. So I want to try out a couple of the hands here. So let's see what works best for our Energon axe. Now I'm thinking it's going to be something with, so we have one hand here, and this is more of a trigger kind of hand. It has the finger wrapped around. I'm going to guess this pairs well with the ion blaster there. And we have another hand, two more hands actually. One's more of a circular hold. I don't know if you could see this small detail on this, a circular hold. And the other one's more of a kind of like a clutched hold here. So I think either one will work with the Energon axe. Let's see what we could get it to fit in though, because these are kind of stiff hands, so I don't know what's gonna work. So we got the clutch hold one here. I don't think this one's gonna work because you're not gonna be able to separate it quite enough. That I think this one might, because of the thumb. Maybe, I don't know. No, this one's tough too, huh? So they made it tricky for us. So they made it really tricky. I'm going to try to put the axe in first in order to get the grip on there, because otherwise it's going to be harder. And there's no instructions, so it doesn't break away like we see in like the Figmas in that series. I do like the breakaway weapons because you don't have to, you know, fuss with the and it's hard to just slide it down from the top because you have this huge part there. So I think you kind of have to maneuver it in from the side, and I worry about that thumb breaking over time. Just because you're putting a lot of stress on that joint. So eventually you can get it here and get that axe in there. And then we'll just do our standard twist and pull, and that was kind of easy on that one. I do worry about that little plastic peg in there breaking off over time though. That is the sole point of failure for this figure. There we go, and we get up. It did not snap in place. I don't like the hand system on this one, I gotta say. It's just really difficult to get that to connect, and it just, I think there's a lot of potential for that to break over time. But once you get it in there, he's got his axe, he's looking pretty sharp. He could chop, he could pose with it, and he could do whatnot, and I think that's great. And he would pair well with the Megatron if the Megatron had that energy mace. And then you get that great scene from the first episode where they're on top of the, was it a dam, I believe, and they were fighting each other with the Energon axe and the Energon mace or whatever. And you could get that with the Super 7 figures because those have that in there, but not with the MDLX figures. It's just Optimus that has his Energon axe. Would have been nice to see it a little translucent as well, as opposed to just this painted version of it. So yeah, I mean, that's not too bad, but I would have liked that more of a translucent look to it. Okay, so that was the Energon axe. Let's try out this ion blaster here and see what that looks like. So the ion blaster is secured in here with some tape and with some plastic bags as well. It's a good thing we have our little tools here because there's a lot to open on this guy. So pretty nicely detailed, a pretty long, hefty blaster there too. So this one I think should fit in pretty well into this one with the trigger grip. And that one we could just slide in from the top, which I think is much, much, much better. So we have the finger there, and it fits perfectly around that trigger. It's meant to be, it's wrapped around it. I think it is a great look for it. So I'm gonna really set this one in here and get it to look great. So we're gonna have that peg. We're gonna set it up here for success, hopefully. And we're just gonna push as we twist on this one. It's kind of hard to get a good angle. I don't know if we're supposed to put the hand on first, but let's see here. Here we go. I think I got it. Yep, I got that, definitely. Okay, so that set in there. That wasn't too hard. It was easier than the axe. Again, you got these little plates and stuff that move on him all over the place. So you got a lot of more posability on the figure. And he looks really, really tough with that blaster situated in his hand there. And I think he looks really sharp. Not a bad figure. I don't regret getting him. He's definitely really fun. He's got a lot going on for him. Now, the MDLX is a mixture of PVC and a diecast. So you got a metal transformer here, essentially. So not too bad. And he looks pretty sharp here with his weapons. You have the option to display that matrix of leadership. Not bad for a non-transforming transformer. A lot of great detail, a lot of great looks to him. And he's got this classic throwback to the original cartoon, which I really appreciate. And the look, I just love that old G1 style of animation and of the various characters we have here. So why don't I grab the Super 7 one really quick and we can check out how they look side by side. All right, so I have my MDLX Optimus right here, and then this Super 7 animated Optimus right here. So you can see different scale. This is coming around 7-8 inches. I think this is 6-7, somewhere in there. So this one is going to have more of that color palette that reflects the animation. It's a very simplified color palette. It's not a lot going on for it, just blue, just yellow, just red, not a lot of detail. This was just very close mock-up of the animation style. Same with the blaster, not a lot of detail on it. This one is going to have a tremendous amount of detail because it's based on the MDLX figure that has a lot of detail, and especially on things like the smokestacks, on the legs. And then this just is going to have the sort of vintage inspired colors. So it's going to have that lighter blue color scheme there, the yellow belt, that kind of thing. So you can tell the difference in that respect. I think this is closer to the look of the cartoon, like 100%, in this line, which is really cool to see these guys. And again, these don't transform either. These are all non-transforming transformer figures, which we got in just the last, like, it's become a thing in like the last 5 years or so, like non-transforming transformer figures. I think it started with, I mean, there might have been older ones out there, but I think the red line sort of made it mainstream where we had non-transformer transformer figures. So yeah, so this is what we got here, basically, between the two of them. And I think he looks great. I mean, there's an option here, I think, for the backpack as well, too. That was one of the accessories in the... You can check out our review of Optimus if you want to see the Super 7 Optimus. We have that. I'm not going to go into it. So here we have Megatron from the MDLX line. We did this one last week or 2 weeks ago. I'm losing track of time. So he's also in his vintage animation style coloring, and you can pair him with your Optimus now, and you can get a little diorama going between the two of these guys squaring off, which isn't bad. So at this point, the only one we got left is Bumblebee, and we'll be checking him out very soon. But so far, I really like this line. I think these guys look great. They're going to make great little display pieces on the shelf, and this, you know, the die-cast dynamic, the high level of detailing really make them stand out. So they're fun. They're smaller than the DLX line, a lot cheaper, so it's easier to collect these and display these. But that is our look at the Autobots Optimus Prime Vintage Animation Edition from ThreeZero in their MDLX line. All right, well, that was a fun little look. Our collection is growing of these guys. They're really nice. He says a little power axe here. Highly detailed, a lot going on with this thing. He's got you know, a great set of weapons here. I'm glad he had the axe. It just gives him a little bit more. I'm glad he has the Matrix of Leadership. It just gave him a little bit more. I think they absolutely look amazing. I think you could still get him. If we find the link, we'll give it to you. I think he retails around $99, I want to say, around $100 for this guy and for the Megatron. The Bumblebee, I think, came in a little cheaper at 60 or 70. If we find the link, we will put them up. These were a limited edition offer. There was only so many made in this color scheme. Otherwise, you just get the standard one, which is going to be the same exact figure, just with the like more realistic colors in their more modern look to them. So I do appreciate this fun little throwback look. I hadn't gotten them before, so I'm glad I kind of waited until they had this you know, vintage throwback. I always love the vintage stuff. So that is our look for our Transformer this week. We'll be checking out some Turtles from NECA this week later on. So we'll be getting to those. We got a lot of those to get to still. We're going to have more you know, mashup from the Mattel Playmates Turtle line with the Heroes of Grayskull. So we'll have some of those to look at later on. Got a ton of other stuff. I don't want to get into it, but there's a lot. So keep coming back to check out more of those. We'll be heading to Rebels Gun Con next week, or I'm sorry, not next week, next month. I'm getting ahead of myself. Next month, I'll be doing a panel there, among other things. That's going to be really great. It's going to be a great show. We have a lot of stuff queued up. If you're a Star Wars fan, that is your chance to check that. Some really great stuff, particularly it's not a celebration year, so we won't have any other options. We have a lot of Star Wars stars that will be there that have played in everything from the original trilogy to the prequel trilogy to the TV shows, including an upcoming TV show that is not out yet. So your chance to meet them before the show starts. We have, of course, Jar Jar himself. Ahmed Best will be there. So your chance to see Jar Jar, and he also played in Mandalorian. To see him there. Great, perfect timing with the 25th anniversary of The Phantom Menace. So come check that out, rebelsgunconventions.com. You get tickets, hotel room. I think there's still tickets left. You grab tickets while you still can. We'll be there. I'll be doing one of my segments live. If you guys have checked out our other channel, and which is rebelsgun.com, and have seen the Rebels Gun Rewind segments I do, in addition to the Jumbo reviews. If you see the Jumbos around me. So yeah, we got some really fun plans for the convention for that segment. So like, subscribe, and follow, and we'll see you guys next time.